Steve, we've got what, a lemon lime?
It is a lemon lime in a cane version.
Cane version.
So the cane version, you can see the exposed stem on both the different sizes here.
These get nice and large. I've seen these when they're really tiny, but these are really more impressive when you've got this nice big cane.
Yep, just a different version of the same plant, grown differently, grown taller, for a much taller presentation than, say, a floor plant that would be 24 inches or so. These guys, this is the 10-inch pot size, 12-inch pot size. This will give you 3.5, 4 feet of height, whereas the 12-inch pot size is a good, it's almost 6 feet, 5.5 feet or so.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And with this, you've got a nice variegation. Now, you were saying if it's in too low a light, you may lose a little bit of the variegation?
Exactly. This plant you're going to want near a window, near a west window, south window, or an east window, where it can get some pretty strong indirect light. It needs the light to maintain the variegation. You can see the deeper green is where most of the photosynthesis is going to be produced, so it needs to be closer to indirect light than you would the ZZ or the Mesangiana cane or something like that.
I think it's a good point, too, because people sometimes forget that this is really the photosynthetic factory that's making the foliage, the energy for the plant.
Making the foliage, producing the color, and kicking out oxygen, and keeping you breathing nice, clean air.
Which is what we want. Now, this has got a nice, good soil to start with, and so they don't really have to do anything as far as changing soils and stuff when they get it home.
No, no. When you get a plant from us, you want to keep it in its grow pot.
Right.
Okay, you do not want to take this out of the black grow pot and put it in another pot. It would damage the root system. This thing will fall apart. You want to maintain it, keep the roots together. This plant will last several years in this grow pot.
Okay, and then it's time to buy another one from you.
Well, it could be. It could be. But with good light conditions and a good watering regime, it's built to last.
Now, how do we check the water?
So we want to make sure that we've got adequate soil moisture down below the soil. So we're going to use our soil sleuth here, insert it into the soil, several inches, pull it out, and feel that this has pretty good soil moisture. Several inches down. I would not water this plant for several days, up to 2 weeks.
So let it dry a little bit in between.
Yes, sir.
I find a lot of folks want to water and water and water, and that's probably one of the single biggest killers when they water on a regular daily basis.
It is, and lacking the soil probe, someone would just touch the surface of the soil and it would be dry.
Right.
But as you can see, you go 5, 6 inches down and it's got plenty of moisture. It does not need to be watered, and you are absolutely right that overwatering kills more plants than underwatering.
And underwatering being second, but number one, overwatering.
Yes.
And and I can see where your tool here, this soil sleuth, really gets you down there and gives you the information that you really need.
It does. And if you'll notice, we've got the stem stabilizer here on both the plants, so it'll be shipped with the stem stabilized. So when you get the plant, you're just going to snip this off, just on here with a little bit of tape.
So we take it off. We don't need it after it gets to your site.
Take it off. So it'll stand up all by itself once it's in place in your home or office.
Well, I like the trunks. I like the cane. I think that's a really nice look. And of course, I think that variegation of silver and yellow and green really makes a nice combination.
It's a nice, colorful plant that'll provide a good pop of color in your family room, dining room, office.
And it would be great to give you some height. You know, if you've got the lower plant, let's say they've got a smaller plant from you, this would give you some height in that area to give you that bright.
It sure will. And it's pretty resilient, doesn't have a lot of pest problems. Like the other Dracaenas and Warnockeis, it gets a mealybug occasionally. And to either clean the leaf or remove the mealybug, all I'm going to use is a little soapy solution, water with a little bit of soap in it, and support the leaf and wipe backwards.
Just wipe backwards. And that should take care of the dust, and also if you had a little mealybug down near the base, you'd get rid of them also.
Yes, sir.
And once again, if you have a little bit of a brown tip, which could occur, you could take your scissors and cut it back to that V.
Easy. Again, yes. So maybe this tip is a little misshapen. I'm just going to take my scissors and cut it at a nice angle. And now I've got a nice sharp leaf, and you can't tell that it's been cut.
So when that does occur, just be ready to trim.
Yep. And if you do get a bad leaf, down below, so some of these smaller leaves you'll lose along the way. They can just be broken off.
Just take them off.
Just taken off like that. Yep.
Okay, I think we've talked about water, we've talked about light. I think we've given them a lot of information that they can use.
Give it enough light to keep it going and keep the variegation colorful.
So that
I do
bright,
recommend
bright
that.
window, you said probably 3 or 4 feet from one?
Yes, you can put even closer.
Closer, all right.
Closer. You don't want the direct sunlight on it, but filtered sunlight is perfect for this plant.
Super.